It is 5:51, April 5th. Uh, hold on a second. Now that I'm dressed for success, I wanted to talk about something I thought about. I don't know if I said it already, but I probably have, but I should say it again. Because I just remembered it. I was thinking about it last night, so since I haven't put anything out there, I don't think I put a video out there. Maybe I did put one up yesterday. I don't know. I don't know when the last one I put up was, but anyways. But I was just thinking that I was thinking when I was going to bed, uh, it would be good. Wouldn't it be good if America had a we had a policy. I don't know exactly how to phrase it. We had the same kind of funding policy we did for education and tuition and everything, like we did today, that we did. I don't know if we ever did have something like what I'm thinking of, but I'm I'm envisioning something like a public education system, at the very least for every American citizen, that is a free for life tuition system, so that no one ever has to worry about that component of the opportunity cost factor for if you're going to be able to reach your goals in life. There isn't going to be any kind of educational barrier because there isn't going to be a cost barrier for anyone. And then, of course, personally, the goal would be also to create a transportation network to the universities so that you could attend physical lectures. least some physical lectures you could meet up with university professors and TAs at least some of the time, because in the digital age, you don't really need to do that all the time. You can attend digital lectures just fine, I'm sure. That'd be a very reasonable way to cut down any kind of cost for everything. But especially on if we want to implement this at that kind of scale. But actually going to a university has a more visceral feel to it than taking online courses. So, plus you can't really, we don't really have the technology yet to replicate, say, physical laboratories, such like, those sorts of things. So there are still certain things that simply can't be replicated digitally. But I think a good way to turn things around in short order would be to just completely change the paradigm on education and just say we're no longer going to charge for education. And we are also going to, we are going to pay the professors and everything good for their time. We're going to fund the universities, the research departments at the universities, because China does that. China funds their universities, particularly their research universities, very well. And so why do you think China is developing at such a breakneck pace compared to where they were 10, 15, 20 years ago? Why do you think they've made such a remarkable progress from where they were? And the United States has not kept up. The pace has not accelerated or whatever. Of course, we made progress, but there's a lot of problems with that. Anyways, my thing is, the point I want to bring to that is, imagine if we had a kind of societal shift, a policy, a mentality national mindset shift of lifelong education and of being a lifelong student, and of not demonizing academia the way that has become trendy to do. And we allow people to be lifelong academics. For the purpose of being academics. And when I say that, I'm not just saying like, oh, so and so is choosing the life of being a physics professor or a philosophy professor or so and so. I'm saying a person that is just choosing to stay in university and learn and just take classes, maybe into their 30s, maybe into their 40s, because maybe they don't know what they want to do yet. And we're okay with that because we've chosen as a society to be okay with all of that. And maybe we've even decided to also start funding a universal basic income to fund that and allow people who are in universities to just study and pursue research projects if they want to. And not be so judgmental. um, and and stop being a society that has those news clips of some Yahoo going, why are my taxpayer dollars going to fund a research study of, and then they pull out some research paper of someone did. And it's like blah 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 blah. It's like, because that's what That's what people do in a university. They investigate stuff and come up with a research proposal, and you investigate theories. It's how you learn things. I don't know what it is. Just because you think it's a waste of time and a waste of resources, I mean, what does that matter? That's what academia is for. It's it's just to be curious. You know, not everything needs to be about creating a newer, crispier television set. All these little tiny things that people think they need. So yeah, you can just create a culture that I don't know. I don't know. It sounded better. I was laying down, a culture of it was more erudite, more thinker based instead of more how much money can we earn in the next quarter. I think that would be much more valid. And would probably also I don't want to like predict that we would be the envy of the world, but it would be much more difficult for bullshitters to win presidential elections if the lowest bar was, you know, a single PhD instead of, oh, the lowest bar is like you graduated from high school. You know, people made fun of you, like, oh, you only got like one PhD. That's why you're still working, you know, at McDonald's like, at 35. You must be slacking off. Like, yeah, that's that would be kind of a, an impressive step forward. And I think in that country, any leadership class, I meaning the representatives and the representatives, the senators, and the president in our current political system would have to be much more skillful if they did want to try and outmaneuver the Constitution. They'd have to do something trickery. Hopefully there would just not be any of that, but whatever. And maybe we could weed out some of the less favorable of characters. The people with demeanors that are more on the sociopath leanings would also be a little easier to spot, I think. There you go. I think I have to wear my hat because, especially ever since Trump, Trump loves selling his hats, but especially ever since, I saw that Trump was right about everything hat, it's just like, ugh. It's just like, it's just like the hat has stayed shelved too long. So it's gotta be up there, right out there in front. Because, no. If you were right about everything, then, the game you're playing is very, behind the scenes-y. And, all this stuff. It's the only way he can be right about everything is if he's planning like for one of these weird which I don't know. I just don't see any. I don't see any evidence of that, basically, yet. I only see evidence of him being a greedy idiot buffoon. And on top of that, there's a lot of evidence going back like 40 years of him for the same case. So it's just like, I don't know, dude. So, like, wow. He took playing the long game to an entirely new level. Anyway, so yeah. Free education, free healthcare, free income, free housing, all these things, good things. Glad to see a lot of other people in the world are getting on board with this. Institute even moderate taxes on extreme wealth, and you'll be able to start making some of this stuff happen, and then income to the lower brackets will increase in volume and scope, and then you'll have more tax income, which means spending will increase, and then spending and then tax will increase across the board, and then it'll snowball and snowball and snowball. So all you gotta do is just get it started by taking a nice bite off the top. And then boom, you know, use that money and then use that tax money instead instead of some other bullshit. You know. Build some housing, build some infrastructure, build some this, build some that, build anything that helps poor people and hires poor people and all this stuff. Just whatever. Something that does something for people that need something. And I think people are wising up to that. And not just in the United States. In every country that's been screwed over. So it's good stuff. Tax rich, kneecap the rich. Right there. Free education. Free education. For life. Boobs. Boobs, boobs, boobs.